Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of August 15th. So just before we get stuck into the energy forecast for this week ahead, I have a couple of announcements. I am actually 31 weeks pregnant. Yes, under this table I have been growing a little human. So if you've been wondering why I look green on some weeks, now you know. I'm due in October, on October 14th, so it'll be a little Libra baby if all goes according to plan. So with that, there are going to be a few changes. I will be switching out of the weekly format, which I've been doing for many years now, and instead I'll be switching over to a monthly format. So starting September 1st, you will be getting monthly cosmic forecasts, and hopefully I'll be able to continue with that until the end of the year, doing the monthly format, and then we'll see how it all goes from there. But just bear with me. I will try and get them out at the first of every month, but if for some reason it's not there, you know, I'm probably busy with baby stuff. So starting next month, we'll be switching over to a monthly format. And on that note, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, to stay updated, because even though I am going to be going on some sort of maternity leave, and I say some sort of maternity leave because I feel like, you know, Forever Conscious is one of my first babies, right? So I definitely don't want to neglect it. I still have a lot of content for you. My Capricorn self has been, you know, churning out some great content that I hope to release over the, next couple of months. So definitely stay subscribed to the YouTube channel, to my email list, and then to Facebook and Instagram, because that's where you're going to probably get the most updates. So I still have a lot of great content, but you're probably going to want to subscribe to the email list, to Facebook, Instagram. I am probably most active on Instagram, so if you're looking for daily updates, daily cosmic check-ins, and you like that kind of content, you'll probably love Instagram. And what I'll do is I'll pop links below for all of that. So the email list, how to subscribe to that, social channels, and then of course for YouTube, you can just hit the subscribe button under the video. I think that is all. Oh yes, and of course my new book, The Ultimate Guide to Astrology. Thank you so much everybody for purchasing that already have. But if you want to learn how to do these cosmic forecasts, if you want to do what I do, this is your starting point. This book is your entrance point to understanding the cosmic skies and looking at your chart and this is the foundation. So if you're like, I want to do my own cosmic forecasts, this is what you need. So check that out. It's available online, in stores. Just check your local book retailers, Amazon, all the big book retailers. Check your local one because it will be on there. All right, so that's it for the announcements. Let me get stuck right into the forecast. So this week we are leading up to the start of Virgo season, which happens on the 22nd, 23rd. That'll depend on your time zone. And we're also leading up to the Aquarius full moon, which is on August 22nd. So we have the full moon, and then really shortly after that, the sun moves into Virgo. So that's a pretty big day. There's a big energy shift that will kind of take place on that day with that full moon energy, and then the sun moving into the sign of Virgo. So we're wrapping up Leo season. Leo season is a time of high energy, of creativity, of being bold and courageous. It's very solar driven because Leo's ruling planet is the sun. So if we think of any kind of word that we can associate with the sun, that's what Leo season can bring to us. Bright, bold, that energy. Now we're shifting into Virgo season, which is an earth sign. It's represented by the Virgin, but here Virgin is really referring to being whole and complete. in oneself. The idea of the Virgin is also about understanding that we are source energy. We are the universe. Within us, we contain the entire universe. Within us, we contain the source of all things. We are the entire ocean in a drop of water. That kind of feeling is what is connected to Virgo energy, and that's what we can really embody and embrace. So we're moving out of that kind of creative, fire-driven energy into this more earthy, grounded energy where we know that we are source, that we are connected, that what we need is truly within. So you might be feeling that transition or feeling that shift. And I will also say, if there's creative projects, things that you want to get off the ground, if you need that fiery energy, use it, because then we're shifting into earth-based energy, and earth-based energy is good for planning, organizing, coordinating. It's a little more kind of like, how can I create a structure? So if, whereas that fiery energies can really help us, go for it, take a leap, start a new beginning. So use that if you need it in your life this week, because then as we get into Virgo season, it'll shift a little bit and we'll have more earthy energies to work with. So that's sort of the flow. And then as we get to this date, 22nd, 23rd, where we have this Aquarius full moon. So this is the second Aquarius full moon of the year, which is kind of rare. We've had 2 Aquarius moons back to back. So back in July, we also had an Aquarius full moon, and this is according to tropical astrology. That Aquarius full moon fell at about 1 degree of Aquarius. This full moon falls at 29 degrees of Aquarius, which is the, beginning degree was 1, 29 is the ending degree. So these 2 Aquarius full moons kind of represent the entrance and the exit point. They're sort of working together. If you can think back to what was even happening in your life last month around that July 23rd full moon, which was also in Aquarius, if there was anything that felt incomplete, or something that was lacking closure, or something that was not quite illuminated at that time for you, you might find that this full moon, this second Aquarius full moon on August 22nd, brings that illumination, brings that closure, brings that kind of exit point that you've been looking for. So the energy will work in tandem. Having 2 Aquarius full moons back to back indicates strong Aquarian energy. And this is kind of a theme. We have Jupiter and Saturn both in Aquarius at this time as well. And both Jupiter and Saturn are kind of like good markers for like what's happening in the world, what energy we're kind of working with on a collective level. So we do have this strong Aquarian energy. How can that manifest? Well, Aquarian energy, on a deep sort of spiritual level, Aquarius is the water bearer. And the water bearer has the ability to take the water, which is emotions that are held by the world, held by the collective, that collects it in its vessel, and then it uses the power of air, the breath, thought, all that air energy to transmute that water, return it back to earth where it is, neutralized, healed, nourished, and then, poured back to be reused and reworked. That at its deepest level is the energy of Aquarius. And so it's beautiful. It's a healing energy. So Aquarius is represented by the water bearer, but it's actually an air sign. And so that air energy is what's used to help shift that water or emotions and kind of change them, settle them. So it's a beautiful sign. It's a beautiful energy for humanitarian work, for, helping others, for healing. It's got a very healing quality to it. On the shadow side, however, Aquarian energy can also manifest as being very mechanical, or taking out the individual needs for the greater collective, looking at things, okay, we don't want to look at the individual, we want to look at what is good for the whole, what's good for the group. And sometimes that can feel a little bit harsh because within that group, we also have individual needs, but Aquarian energy on a sort of shadow level can sometimes bypass that. Aquarian energy can sometimes come across as cold for that reason. And then the other sort of shadow side with Aquarian, Aquarius energy, because it's very tech savvy and, you know, advanced, sometimes its energy can come across as too computer-like, too machine-like, not sort of lacking that sort of compassion and too kind of, you know, regimented, technical. That can sometimes manifest. So we can kind of see roughly these themes playing out, this rise in using technology and, you know, community and humanity, but then also that humanitarian work, but then also that energy of things being a little bit too mechanical, you know, thinking about the group and then kind of forgetting the needs of the individual. They're all things that we can kind of see, and we can kind of see already at this time. So that energy of Aquarius will be very strong and very active under this full moon. This full moon on its own, because each full moon has a slightly different vibration, offers us some closure. Kind of as I mentioned, it's working in tandem with that energy that we had back in July at that full moon. That was the entrance point. This is the exit point. So as an exit point, it does bring some nice closure. So if there's something you're looking for closure on, or something you're looking to wrap up or complete, this is a good time to focus your attention there. What do you want to bring closure to? What do you want to kind of wrap up and complete? What do you want to kind of finalize? And that's a good way to use this energy as we move through the week. So I will be back next week on the 22nd itself, because I do these Sunday to Saturday kind of weekly forecasts. So I'll talk more about the full moon next week, but just know as we're leading into it, we're getting this surge of Aquarian energy. And we're also getting this opportunity to bring closure and completion to something in our lives, especially something that might have been brewing under that first Aquarius full moon back in July. So that's it for the week. Big energies as we get to this day of the Aquarius full moon and then the sun shifting into Virgo, but kind of quiet on the other end of the week. We do have, as I mentioned last week, Uranus moving retrograde on the 19th, 20th. That is a little more of a subtle energy. I did sort of speak about that last week. It is a sort of a time of creating stability. And I think that kind of links into, you know, finding closure, especially wrapping up loose ends, cutting cords that no longer need to be there. That all kind of seems to be part of the theme for the week. Okay, I'm Tanaz from foreverconscious.com. You'll have a wonderful week and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.